Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope everybody is really doing well. Hey, hi everyone, and hi Rollman. Hey, hi Arbab. Good morning. It's a good day fasting basically, and soon basically it's about to get over. We almost past 24, so yeah. How things and. Pretty much, Shri price action, a lot of sideways choppiness have been happening since, we took over that 76.5K on 11th of March. The past 10 days have been pretty much, chop. Not much of a real, moves that really wanted to, to play. And basically we are still, honestly, if I have to tell you, we are still in a no trade zone territory for altcoins specifically. The reason is that, as I mentioned, altcoins really need to break above 241 billion, and so as to make us really proud. And hey, hi everyone. Ahmed, good morning. Sure. Well, the altcoins are in the no trade zone, but then I saw a lot of coins pumped randomly. Specifically, if I have to tell you, Zeta was one of the coin that it pumped randomly, basically. And just looking at the forward chart, yes, it did a very nasty move. Basically, it was it just retraced the whole fab dump. Basically in a one single slingshot, and this sort of a move normally is LTF bullishness, and definitely something to consider that we have to call the liquidity. So your levels for Zeta, for those really remain bullish, these are the very normal levels. If you are bullish, then you need Zeta to flip up here, and then you can long. Else it's a short, in my view, clean short. This can do something like this, at least a retest of this support that we have on 27 cents. So Zeta is one of the coins that can be a very good opportunity for a swing short, basically, after the nasty scam pump. Actually, API 3 is another coin that is exactly a very similar thing. And for some reasons, for if you look at from the perspective of the RSI, out of nowhere, it just did with no bull divergence, nothing. Yeah, you can say that it was a very good triangle over here, or just LTF triangle breaking out, basically. But if this is a triangle breaking out, then definitely it's not topped out yet. The reason is normally triangle breakouts gives a retest, and that's your support. The newly established support, and what you want to see is we go up here and accumulate a little bit like this. Just want to see some more accumulation, and then we get for a breakout. Losing this can give us a retest for the initial breakout that we have around 97 cents. I hope my voice is audible. And I saw auction did a very fat dump. Actually, honestly, I so wanted to short it, auction. I really wanted to short it. I wanted to give the short as well. The reason I will tell you, but I was not that optimistic with the shorts. I was a little bit scared, honestly speaking, for shorting. But I did have my triggers to have the short. If you just look at the EMS strategy on the 2 minutes charts, I think the strategy is definitely good. And the long that I took yesterday was basically because of this strategy, and we are still holding up our longs, and today it's looking good. I'm expecting a bounce on Bitcoin, similarly for ETH as well, looking good, and I'm expecting a push up as well on ETH. But if you just look at the auction, this is what I really wanted to trade yesterday for a short. It was a very clean short, basically, if you really ask me, and this was the trigger for a short, basically. So what happened is the price starts, we got a golden cross, death cross, and not a single death cross, but if you see, we got a multiple death cross here in this territory, basically. 1, 2, 3 death crosses in a single row. Normally this doesn't happen, and then we started breaking under. So this was my trigger on 52.8, but I was a little bit pessimistic for this short, and it just went nuts, honestly speaking, like a 50% move on the downside. So this was a trigger. And similarly for Zeta, if you just look at this, strategy as well on the 2 minutes chart, this was a very good trigger with a death cross above the VWAP. It is some sort of an early indication that price might start reversing, and then we start dumping and back testing the EMAs, and then we started dumping more. So this was my trigger, basically 37 cents. Even here, this was the trigger on 37.2 with the stops above 38.1. Basically, I think Zeta is still not, as I mentioned, we are still under the resistance, so you can expect 27 cents easily. Now, basically, these are all the scalping strategies, we use it, but a lot of people have told me and asked me that this might give a lot of fake outs. Yes, this will definitely give. It's not a 100% accurate strategy, but definitely what you need to understand, you just need to trade the trade the volume and trade the most biggest moves. And how do you get that? Based on my study of these charts, especially the BTC and gold charts, normally the sudden big move happens after 13 UTC time. So if you just look at from the last week, 20th of or maybe 18th of March, this is Ethereum chart. Let's just go into the BTC chart. So if you just look at from this move here and just look past like 5 days, see after what happens after 13th UTC time. So we're just going to start with 17th of March. So I'm just going to show you basically now this is not 100% accurate, but this is something like 13th UTC time. You definitely get some good moves, volatile moves, you see. And especially after 14 UTC time, you get a very nasty moves actually. This is where the trend, shifts. So you get a good move on after 13th, a good volatile move. Similarly, on the 18th of March, you see after 13, basically you get some nasty volatile move here, basically. And after 14th, you see 14th is some sort of a reversal territory as well. And on 19th again, 13th of UTC 13 time here, again you see some nasty volatile move up here. So whatever the trend it decides at that point of time, let's say if the trend is up, basically the price is above VWAP, it goes for a push. If the price is under VWAP, it goes for a dump. Very simple move. You can just probably analyze it. So I normally don't trade like whole day, keep on just it's not possible. So we need to make money. We need to make it money, and we need to make it smart, basically. So you can't just be acting like sitting in front of the screen whole day and just waiting for that opportunity to come. You just have to wait for the triggers to come. And if you have the plan, just play it accordingly. Look at here after 13, what happened. So this was the 13, the price was in the VWAP. So here we got some sort of a reversal before, on 13, there's like some sort of fake out, and the price started dumping and going into that direction again. Similarly, on 21st, 13th, basically, this 13 again. So the price was on the VWAP, got a back test, and then started dumping. This was a good $500, $600 move. And then once we start after 14th, we start reversing, basically flipping up, and then we go for some sideways chop due to weekend. You see the price has not moved so far, but now it seems like it want to push up. So this is why I think if you really want to trade it, the two ways of trading, basically, either you trade the Asia session normally in the early morning, like as soon as the Australia session begins and it starts, like 1 or 2 past, you can just go for the simply go for the this thing, what do you say, Asia, and you can just jump on the Asia session. Well, the strategy is very simple actually. First of all, of course, this is not my strategy. I saw someone on Twitter and tested this strategy. Of course, I have made some of my rules based on my understanding of this strategy and how you can avoid some fake outs. And you know, it's very simple. You use the VWAP, and it's just a normal VWAP. It's not a periodic VWAP. You use the VWAP, and 2 EMAs you need to use it. EMA, you know, EMA 9 and EMA 20. So that's the 2 EMAs you need to use, 9 and 20. That's it. These are the 2 EMA you use, 9, 20, and VWAP. That's it. You don't need any other indicator, no RSI, nothing. But if you still want to use RSI, you can, so as to just see if there are divergences and you just want to play as well alongside. But honestly speaking, you don't need RSI. Basically, let me just even delete this RSI. You don't need it. That's the only 2 things. I mean, you just look for short opportunity with the price under the VWAP and start closing like 2-3 under, and also you look for the short opportunity. I will set all the rules basically. So the price goes under, you know, starts closing under, doesn't only mean that it's a short trigger. You need the EMAs to align under the VWAP, EMAs to go under the VWAP, and as soon as they go under, the price starts backtesting it. It's a clean short. Normally with this strategy, your stop losses are manual. Basically, you wait for the price to flip. So let's say, for example, so this was a short. You woke up, you know, around here. So you decided to short it because the price is at the VWAP and price is the EMS and under the VWAP. You decided to short it. It just went down like this, and you still holded it. And if the price starts flipping back the VWAP like this, and the VWAP starts turning above, the EMS starts turning above the VWAP, that's a good place to long it. Really close your shorts and just look for some long opportunities. At the moment, I think the longs are good, and the inverse head and shoulder is also looking good at the moment. This is just a very simplistic strategy. The gold scalp, in my view, was good. Unfortunately, it stopped at break even, honestly speaking. I tried to short gold, basically. So this was the short as well, which just went to 3,325. This was the short I'm talking about. We took the short and it just went to 3,000. Of course, this is the gold TVC chart. Wanda and other exchanges don't hit the stop losses. Even MT5 don't hit on OctaFX where I trade. So I just went under and I decided to move my stops, and I got hit on the VWAP, and then it started head with the golden cross and flipped up, and then this was a long trigger on 3037, and then yeah. But now I also got a short trigger at this death cross on Friday, but I decided to ignore it. Honestly speaking, this sort of a move up here is clearly another indication of a potential short opportunity opening into the gold. Basically, we might see a push up here into the resistance and look for a move down back to retesting the lows. I mean, this can be a very nice $22 short. The price is still under the VWAP. I mean, even though the trend is, you know, some sort of a uptrend, but you can see this is 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, and this can be 5, at least double bottom sort of a thing, and then it can run up back. But overall, I think this can be a good short scalp for the day opening tomorrow. Let's talk about the BTC and the market. A lot of people are skeptical about why this 5.24% level is very, very important. If you look at here, the 5.24%, historically speaking, this level is very, very crucial for me particularly, and on daily time frame. I'm not talking about H4, it's daily levels. So if you look at here on 2021, this is where we rejected. Again, we rejected with a double top, and then the price went into bull run in 2021, October, like BTC making new highs, if you know, and altcoins went going nuts. Again, we did a similar thing, rejecting, and once we break out, the bear market ignited, the bear market started it, and this was the break of, very, very crucial levels, basically. And the bear market started, and the rest of the story. We just went nuts with 9.5% and double top sort of a thing. So this is the why this level is 5.24 is very, very crucial. Even in this time, we have tested it once. We broke under. We again back tested it. We again broke under, back tested it, broke under. So now it's like, we are trying to flip it up, but still I'm not seeing any concrete signs. Eventually, if you just look at from the HTF perspective on USD DOM, if I have to talk about the weekly time frame on the USA DOM, weekly is still looking good. And yes, 5.24% is also a weekly levels. We have closed, the 2 weekly above. So let's see if this weekly we can close this way as well. What we can expect, basically, yes, we are facing some tough resistance here on the trend line. And then also you have very interesting double bottom sort of thing for the market. Now, there are two possibilities here. Very, very interestingly, we might see a triangle formulation over here. Very interesting triangle formulation. And what does this mean for the market? Basically, we can look for some sort of a 786, 886 Fibonacci levels retest, and here basically around 6.12%, and this can be a very interesting, in my view, some sort of a descending triangle, or maybe irregular expanded flat. So you really want a breakout. This is where the breakout happens and the bear market begins. This is where the real bear market begins, 6.2%. So this is where the big bear are going to keep in, and the market is going to go like this with a bullish impulsive move on the US dominance with a single slingshot, and it's going to wreck many. So yes, the holders are going to get wrecked, in my view, at that point of time once it breaks out. So what is going to be the most logical move on the hard-term time frame? If you look at the weekly, we are having some sort of a bearish divergence on the weekly, which is a good sign. There is a bad divergence here. The price making higher highs, the price making lower highs, and the RSI is making some sort of a higher highs. There is a very good bearish divergence on the weekly. The previous bull divergence played out very nicely from here and here. I mean, this was a very good bull divergence. So honestly speaking, I'm not big, I wouldn't be bearish here at the moment, unless this bad divergence get invalidated this weekly close with this weekly close. Let's say if this in next 15 hours USA dominance pumps up to 6.64%, then it's going to invalidate, which I don't think it's going to do. Weekends are more likely going to be slower, basically. So what I anticipate will likely going to form some sort of a bullish divergence on the weekly to negate this whole scenario of the bear scenario. Monthly, we are still facing some sort of a resistance at the 50, but remember, monthly is still bullish. I mean, we don't have any bearish divergence on monthly. So monthly is still strongly bullish, and we are knocking a door of a resistance on RSI. The momentum is just waking up. See, so once it flips up, you can expect a nasty monthly candle. Basically, that this would be really, really nasty. Basically, it would be like big fat dump again. So the monthly is still undecided at the moment. We are at a resistance, and the weekly is decided. We have a bear divergence. So basically, that's the reason I'm looking for long opportunity.